Welcome to On the Way to School, your 6-minute daily boost for educators and administrators. I'm Christopher S. Dennis, and today, let's elevate our journey together. Hey, good morning. Here we are once again on the way to school. I hope the weather is feeling nice and crispy this morning. Out here in California and Los Angeles, there was an earthquake last night, and it was pretty cool in the sense that I have this earthquake app, and it's called My Shake, and it actually alerted me probably a second or two before the shaking began, which was just a great example of technology. So the earthquake wasn't so great, but it's been hot and all those things that come with just interesting weather. It seems pretty on brand for an earthquake to come through, but everybody seems to be in good order. It was a pretty big one, but overall, here we are, middle of the week, folks. It's a week that's going to fly by at this point, once we get to the middle. So excited that you're all here for today's conversation. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about coaching. And when I mean coaching, I mean specifically professional development, executive coaching, and things of that nature. I've had plenty of coaches in my time in the formal sense. I've also had informal coaching or one-on-one kind of engagements with either a direct supervisor or a colleague or a mentor within the organization who's been very helpful. And I think it's really healthy for folks at the start of the year to think about, is there a coaching relationship that could benefit them? And I've got a couple ideas of how you can maximize those experiences. So 3 points for taking advantage of a coaching relationship in the formal sense. So this is about somebody that you have researched, you have gotten an introductory call, and checked a few references on the individual that you have decided to work with. I do not recommend just jumping in with somebody who isn't referred, who you haven't checked a reference, who you don't have kind of a understanding of their scope of what they do when they work with you. So for an administrator, it's helpful for you to be able to work with a coach on things like your performance review, or if you've had a 360 and things like that. It's helpful for them to be that neutral person to kind of give you some feedback. So, but the first of 3 things I think you should think about. First, you should consider, what do you want on the other side of the coaching relationship? So for me, 2 years ago now, I engaged a coach because I specifically wanted to re-engage my spark of my just kind of natural energy in leadership. I was not trying to learn a particularly new skill. I was not trying to, apply a new kind of framework. I just wanted to return to a state of being that felt familiar and had me in the most confident headspace that I could be. So I specifically sought out coaches who could speak to that. Okay. And I was able to find a wonderful coach, Emil Bryant, who 10 out of 10 did a great job of really helping me reconnect with my own spark. He's actually got a book called Start with a Sparkle, which was really helpful in the work that we did together. So again, first thing to consider is, what do you want on the other side? What is the feeling? What is the experience that you want to be able to take and sustain once you've gone through the coaching practice? And coaching can go from anywhere to, it could be 2 sessions, it could be 4, it could be 10, it could be, you could meet weekly for a whole year. It just depends on what you're into and what your budget is. The second thing I would recommend folks do is prepare for the time that you have with the coach. So there's going to be the space in between the sessions, but then there's going to be the actual time engaging with the coach. So coaches are eager and excited about working with you, and you can get more value out of the relationship by doing your homework between the sessions and going a little bit beyond. Okay, so if the coach wanted you to do a set of activities or do some journaling or do a reflection, do what you've been asked to do, and then think about the conversation you're going to have and try to figure out how to stretch yourself to really maximize that moment, because coaches are so excited about what they get to do. If you can pull out of the coach a little bit more, then actually the coach gets to get excited and do a little bit more work to prepare for you. So you want your coach preparing for you just as much as you're preparing for the session. But if you come in with the work half done or not necessarily fully tapped in, you will not actually get the full experience of that actual session. And then you're actually going to leave, money and experiences on the table because you did not maximize the engagement with your coach. So prepare for it, take it seriously, and really maximize those moments. And the third and final tip that I'd recommend you consider is that you've got to understand that the coaching relationship will come to an end. That formal series of engagements, those sessions, they are going to wrap up at some point. And transitioning is good because you need to be able to go apply the coaching that you have been able to receive. It's just like any athlete, right? You spend all week preparing for the game. The game is on Saturday, and the coach has to be a little quieter on game day because you've prepared for this. So again, the 3 tips are: consider what you want on the other side of the experience, prepare for the time, and get ready for the transition once the coaching is done to apply the work. So hopefully that's some food for thought on your way to work. See you next time. Thanks for joining me on the way to school. Stay inspired, stay motivated, and keep making a difference. I'm Christopher S. Dennis. See you tomorrow.